All right, to do a little bit of a quick recap of the unexpected short session last week. Lieutenant Quinix met with Captain Prax down on the planet's surface that Deep Space 17 orbits, or the planet that Deep Space 17 orbits. Um, Commander Reef got a briefing about someone from Starfleet Security arriving regarding a certain leak that has happened. And Vogel awakes to a strange dream, telling her to journey to the village of the Forgotten. And I believe with all of the side roleplay, we are going to pick up where we left off, and I believe Vogel and Commander Reef were having a conversation.
Commander, can I offer you a drink?
Uh, Earl Grey tea, please.
Fair enough, that I can do. Would you like it iced, cool, medium, or hot?
Medium with 2 sugars, please.
And Arif will get up to walk to the replicator and say, "Computer, may I please have a Earl Grey tea, medium temperature with 2 sugars?" And oh, it's gonna be one of those days, so why don't, computer, you give me a nice black cherry seltzer? Iced, of course. And as I grab the drinks and bring them back, I'll sit back down and I'll rub my forehead and I'll say, "Oh my, I'm sorry, Sarah, you'll have to forgive me for being an old man and, well, quite frankly, I'm a little distracted anyways. Could I seem to have lost track of our conversation?"
I believe I was talking about some archaeological research I was doing.
Oh, the Forgotten City.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, as I said, I'll be happy to assist in in whichever way I can. And if you, well, quite frankly, I might even suggest, well, of course, Garibaldi's great for finding information, but I might even suggest asking Dr. Mountain, if only because, in my experience, people people seem to, well, just both talk to doctors and talk to him, and who knows? It's a long shot, but you might get lucky.
Yeah, like I said, I still have those 27 other leads to follow up on. But this is more of a project for my off time, I think.
Well, that's fair, but just as long as, you make it a priority because, well, Arif shrugs, at a healthy mental state, there's nothing better.
Plus, this will serve as a welcome distraction. I mean, one can only spend so much time on the holodecks before they start going stir crazy.
You know what I do every now and then? Uh, well, actually, maybe you might find this fun, though, given your personality. I doubt it, but I know Dr. Mountain has once or twice making use of the holodeck to, well, show up on the Nightingale. You might want to give that a shot. And, well, if it were up to me, I would say don't warn anybody. Just zoom on in. It's a lot more fun that way.
I'll keep that in mind.
And by the way, I don't know if you've had a chance to engage with the doctor in his fondness for noodles, but me and him finally managed to, well, get the date worked out, and let me tell you, it was wonderful.
What kind of noodles are we talking here?
Well, it was a smorgasbord of different choices. The one thing I didn't expect was it's one of those kind of create your own doohickeys, and well, eh, I miss the experience of a nice restaurant, but it was definitely the food was out of this world, out of this station.
Well, it's good to see more businesses opening up on the station as Deep Space 17 becomes more developed. More parts of the station are opened back up.
I agree. Uh, how are we how are we doing, by the way, in terms of available space?
Well, we're still working heavily on the habitat areas. We did bring up a few more docking bays online this week. A
Hmm.
few of the lower levels are still pretty deserted.
Um, I have to be honest, Sarah, and don't get me wrong, this is absolutely no fault of the crew. This is not where I'm going with that. But I'm not hugely entertained by the thought of, well, the progress that's been going on. Oh, I'm so sorry. Doorbell.
Food delivery?
I apologize. As I was saying, I'm, well, quite frankly, less than thrilled about the progress, and I have half a mind to request a couple more engineering teams. After all, I can certainly afford to wait, but for the rest of you, I'd like to get the station up and running fully as soon as possible.
Of course, we also had to divert some of our supplies to the Unearthian resettlement.
Of
That took away
course.
some of our engineering supplies for the lower decks.
Let me ask, does it make sense to set up some sort of uh material generation system on the planet?
I mean, it couldn't hurt. If nothing else, might help with some potentially some of the newer Starfleet settlements out here.
Indeed, and if, well, quite frankly, if we can get it up and running well enough, we might even be able to supply the Earthlings further. I like it.
I mean, we do have an entire colony down there to potentially help develop if you like city planning and such.
I can't lie. I can't say I uh don't have a thrill in it. Um, what about you?
I prefer to be up in the stars.
Well,
My
we are, Sarah.
my
We're not
family
designing art.
my family was in charge of a few nature preserves back on Earth. I think I've had my fill of remaining on planets.
Arif will give a quick chuckle and say, well. certainly can't do city planning around nature preserves, or well, you shouldn't. But no, no, I wasn't expecting us to go live there. We're still among the stars. Perhaps perhaps we could draw up a nice layout from on high. But if it's not your cup of tea, I'm perfectly happy trying to enlist others.
I'm sure there's a few engineers that are chopping at the bit for a promotion.
They know they just have to uh, make good with the bribes for that.
What else could your
Um,
office possibly need?
ah, well, and I'll look at one of the walls by the window. I'll say, "What do you think about an extension?" And then really quickly, I'm gonna hold my hand up and say, "I'm just kidding."
Well, if we got rid of one of the conference rooms, maybe we could expand your office out.
You know, we could also go with less is more. Um, maybe, maybe let's see what we can do about installing a hollow emitter in here. Maybe I can have office of the day.
Turn your office into a holographic office. Would you still
Or
keep
if
your
not,
desk though? And she'll kind of knock on the wooden desk.
absolutely, and the rug. Those are priceless works of art. And then Arif will look at the desk. At least one of them. Uh, well,
Well, I'll make
excellent.
some inquiries about converting your office into a holodeck.
I would love that, and I'll start laying out what I think might be a decent idea for the colony. Oh, uh, nope. If I remember correctly, by the way, we did refresh my memory once more. We did go over the visitor from Starfleet Security, yes?
And she'll just kind of glance at the door since it ring. Expecting visitors?
Oh, I guess so. Enter. Uh,
Commander Arif.
Arif, Arif will stand as the person enters, just being polite. And as I look to his collar, Commander, and I'll kind of draw out the last syllable.
Commander Sakar, Starfleet Security. And he
I
hands you
apologize.
a pad.
Oh, thank you. I apologize. My hearing's a little off. Did you say Sakag?
He raises an eyebrow at that. Sakar.
Sakar. I apologize. Out of character. That is really what I heard. Um, but back in
I just went
character.
with it.
Oh, fair enough. Arif, Arif, before sitting down, glances at the replicator and says, "Well, this is my XO, Sarah Vogel, and we appear to be having drinks. Could I get you anything?"
I am fine for the moment.
Of, of course, please sit down. I'll say, offering a chair, and don't mind that I sit down too. If you do get thirsty, I have no problems getting up. If anything else, it gives me exercise.
Your scratch that. I am here on behalf of the Federation Council and Starfleet Security to interview all members of Deep Space 17 on regards to the leak.
I assume this is the article by Miss Chambers,
You would be correct.
Miss Masters. Um, Nodding, I'll say, yeah, that was a doozy. Please,
This also has
fire
to
away.
do with the fact that the USS Expedition's senior officer logs regarding a certain incident were leaked out.
Well, I'm not sure what exactly I can tell you about other houses being dirty, but I can certainly tell you about 17.
That is for me to decide, Commander Reef.
What? What I can tell you, or whether or not.
No, that is for I am here to conduct an investigation, Commander, and I will be
So,
interviewing you and each member of your senior staff, as well as Admiral Keller, on the matter.
sure. Would it be okay for me to set aside a conference room as a temporary office?
That would be adequate.
Of course. I usually, um, I'll look at Sarah and say, I know we're meeting with the Vogel ambassador, in a couple hours in 2B, but I think 2A should be, free for most of the day. Could you double check that while I, talk to the commander, please?
And she'll grab a pad, one of her pads, and start looking.
So great. If anything, in a moment or two, I'll be happy to bring you down there and show you where you, well, quite frankly, you'll be staying for the next little bit. And I hope you don't mind. We've had the liberty of setting aside quarters. We only just recently heard of your arrival, so I'm sorry they're not ambassadorial quarters or anything, but well,
I do not require such fine luxuries. My stay here will
okay.
hopefully be short, Commander.
Well, there's almost 3,600 people on this station, Commander. I don't think you're going to be able to bang that out in a week.
I'm only here to interview those of the senior staff and the Admiral and his staff, Commander. Me simply informing you of the matter and of my investigation is a simple courtesy.
Of course. Okay. Well, if nothing else, I thought you were going for a full investigation. I apologize. In that case, why don't I bring you to the conference room, and who would you like to start with?
Yourself.
I can do that. In which case,
2A
um,
is available.
I'll, uh, I'll nod. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Um, well, sir, why don't I'm sorry, I scratched the sir. Well, Commander, why don't we mosey on down there and I'll be happy to answer your questions.
Very well.
and I will lead him down to the conference room, 2A.
And Vogel will just go back to the station, to our station.
While that's happening with the commander, Garibaldi, is there anything you wish to do before I jump to the doctor?
I had been ordered to investigate this guy coming in, but he apparently showed up before I had a chance to look into his background.
Reason plus con difficulty 2.
Reason on give you a threat.
I like that.
Yeah, I like giving it to you. Research for a focus.
Sure, I'll take that.
Gasp. No resources to squash with, so
Assuming the complication stands.
it does.
While I type this out to you, Garibaldi, we'll just head over to sickbay as the doctor starts for his morning.
Nurse, how are you today?
Oh, just fine, doctor. Nothing unusual in sickbay today. Just standard stuff and physicals. How about yourself, doctor? Have you broken your noodle addiction yet?
No, alas. But I have tried other restaurants in the past couple days, so one because the noodle bar was closed for renovations briefly. Not sure what that was about, but anyway.
I was wondering why you've been losing weight.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Fit as a fiddle. Great. You have your reports from yesterday all set up. I took a look at those this morning, and we'll go from there.
Very good, doctor.
Thanks, Frola. Right, he'll go to his thing and see if he's received any messages from any of his college friends who are stationed somewhere.
Nope. Haven't received anything.
All right. Well, I'll keep checking once in a while. But I'll go over the nurse's report and last shift's report, see if there's anything out of the ordinary, but also keep an eye on making sure my algorithms are working properly.
And you hear a slight knock at your door. Or well, the entrance to your...
I look up. May I help you?
She kind of looks at you for a second. Hi, Uncle Z. Reporting for duty.
Oh, right. Let's do it. I forgot that was this morning. Sorry, I was just going over my reports. Great. So we'll have you start over in this station over here. And good to see you too. Gives her a side hug. And then all right. So the computer can run you through the basics of other things that you might want to know what equipment does, or how to operate different, at least basic things to start. That's what I would suggest you start doing while there's nothing actually going on right now. Is there actually a patient, by the way, GM, in the table?
Oh, that's a leftover. No.
Thank you. Okay, because it looked distressing for the doctor. Anyway,
Apologies.
no worries. And so he'll say, what do you have in mind for this process? I want to make sure it works in your benefit the most.
I just want to see, get to know what Starfleet is all about before I make my decision.
Oh, great. So you're considered a specialist, is that right?
I would like to apply to the academy, maybe, and
I meant in
become
the
an
meantime,
officer.
I understand. Great. Yes, we'll make sure you get that going. Perhaps I could arrange a conversation with some of the command staff and see if they have some free time to chat with you about their departments and that kind of thing. If it's too much pressure to do it one-on-one, I could accompany you, or we could do it over a more casual setting. But for now, we'll do the duty shift and arrange for later. But if you're wondering what I do all day, is I read a lot, different papers and stuff like that, and then I have my experiments and research. Make sure that I keep up on all the newest information. He'll walk and talk back to his office, but you can come with me and grab a pad if you're interested in anything specific. The goal of the medical bay is almost opposite of most of the rest of the station or ship, is where you don't want to see a lot of action. You don't. It's better to be able to do your research and do your stuff, but when you are needed, it is important to be ready all the time. So that's basically the situation here in medical. If you have any questions, Frola, my niece is here to check out the medical profession in a Starfleet, potentially becoming a cadet and going on to officer right here. So if she has any questions, would you mind answering them to your best of your ability? I'm sure you're able, as usual.
Absolutely, Doctor. You want me to put her to work?
If she's up for it and she doesn't have anything else pressing, then that would be great. What do you say?
That sounds awesome. Great.
Awesome, great it is. All right. Yeah, so we'll go from there. If you have any questions, I'm here. But maybe we can spend some time later in the later morning before lunch to chat a little bit about any questions you might have after you've been around for a little while.
Okay. And she is holy, but so it's okay. I read everything up on Starfleet, like medical and procedures.
Yeah, there's plenty of information available. I could give you some of this, basically the non-classified stuff you can easily have. That's, what is it? Civilian friendly, as it were. But we'll make sure that you get all the information you really need when you apply to the academy and that kind of stuff. But if you want help filling out the application, I'm happy to help. I'm a quick typer. But with that information pretty quick. Even faster than talking. Anyway.
So, Uncle Z, do you always stay here in sick bay? Do you ever get to go like on exciting adventures?
Oh, well, yes, absolutely. He sits down. And, would you like a drink? There's a replicator right there if you want. Yeah, I served aboard many starships. Well, a couple starships anyway. Some of them more harrowing adventures than others. But recently, the ship crashed onto this planet below that I was on, and the station moved a ways, and here it is around this planet. And it was nice of them to invite me to stay. But I feel, yeah, I've been on lots of different adventures. But adventures don't have to be elsewhere either. I mean, I've enjoyed my time in space, but I'm kind of enjoying the people coming to me. I've served here and helped a few captains and helped the refugees as best as I could, and still trying to as they come in. And anybody who twists their ankle or breaks a limb or something in the holodeck or whatnot, perhaps getting shot with a ballistic weapon could happen. You don't know. So we had an adventure recently on the holodeck. So I'm just saying, yes, I have been on adventure. But they're not always the most fun. But the goal, for me at least, is to ease suffering and make sure that everybody's taken care of as best as they can be, and at my best ability. And that was my goal. And I think you can talk to any doctor or nurse or medical tech that they just want to help the patient as best as they can. So, but adventure is par for the course in Starfleet.
Sounds exciting. Have you ever faced one of those Borg thingies?
Yes. And I also met a liberated one as well after the war. So they're fascinating and terrifying simultaneously. But my goal has always been to enjoy free will and hope that others can do the same.
Well, I'll let you get to your reports, and there's a lot of material here.
Practice reading. Whether you do it for pleasure or for work, the faster your eyes go, the more info you can get.
She just smiles warmly at you as she digs into the pad.
Awesome. And he'll smile and get back to work. Uh, did I ever get a return message from my sister? From the one I sent?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Garibaldi, I gave you some info.
Yes, got that.
Anything else you want to do?
No, that's probably a fairly risky thing to be looking into that guy's background. Really have a reason to raise any eyebrows. It does make sense that Starfleet Security would send somebody to investigate from a security perspective what happened. So there are things that are bothering Garibaldi about someone working directly for the Federation president being sent out here. But I think he's going to sit on that for a while. Yeah, and I'm at a dead end. He's kind of at a dead end at his other investigation too. So yeah, not at the moment. Well, I tell you what. This Madame Severy, or however you say her name is, that had the shop in Klingon space.
Savne. Savne, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Sayvni. I don't know. It's a random generated word.
I know. I get a lot of those. I have no idea how to pronounce them. Um, he's going to spend some time investigating that person. Yes.
All right.
I- We're really actually interested to see what the Klingons know about her, since she ran that shop in Klingon space.
Reason, security, or con. Difficulty 3. And then I'm gonna make the complication range 2.
All right. Um, research as a focus.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And then, yeah, I feel bad that you had to spend all that thread on that. So I'm going to give you 3 of it back.
I only
'Cause I
spent
don't,
2.
I don't want you to. Well, plus a little more. It's like a baker's dozen. Let me re-roll that complications.
2 momentum gain.
Now, if I remember correctly, Kratz already knows she's dead. Can I spend a momentum on a? You're still typing information. Hmm. The Klingons don't care about the slave trade. When was she reported missing? That how long ago?
Sorry, I'm doing math in my head.
Right.
Because timelines changed from when. Yeah, not timeline change, but
Can I spend a momentum on information to obtain information to find out who is operating that brothel now?
Yes, you can. 1 second, please.
All right.
Oh, random name generator. Where art thou?
I found a pretty good one yesterday, and then I forgot to save the website. Uh, that person, human, Klingon, Romulan, Orion. Mhm. Story. Um, just Starfleet intelligence believes that the Orion slave trade is still being run through that brothel. And I'll spend the last momentum on that for information if I need to.
Yeah, you will.
All right. Lead. This is what we call a lead.
While you digest that information, we're gonna head over to Arif and Sakar. As you enter the conference room 1A
2A.
or 2A,
Yes, sir.
The real question is that my special room or
Yes, sir. I thought it was. Um, well, when we get in there, I'm gonna say, Commander, can I get you something to drink? I'm personally gonna go grab myself something, so it won't be a wasted trip.
I am fine for the moment. And you notice he just starts walking around the room.
I'll let him. And I'm gonna go and grab a. Oh, that's a high jump. I'm gonna go grab a. Well, you know what? Let's go. It's one of those days. Let's go with the. Let's go with coffee, black, and I will sit in the chair and essentially just kind of look at him pleasantly until as he journeys the room.
He takes a seat.
Commander,
Commander.
Commander. We could do this all day, but why don't you give me your first question?
As a commanding officer within Starfleet, you are aware of the Omega Directive.
Um, Out of character, DM question. Is that a yes or a no?
You were never told, but it's always been assumed that you knew about it because of your length within Starfleet.
That's how I've been playing it,
Yeah,
but okay.
he's getting
Then
clarification. So
okay. Then in answer to his question, I'll say I was never read into any directive commander. However, when you're as old as I am, and well, when you know as many people as I do, and well, when you're tangentially around for the actual events, you kind of start to get a piece of knowledge, if you know what I mean.
I do not.
Okay. Well, I thought I stated it clearly. I was never, though, fine. In answer to your question, I was never read into the Omega Directive.
But you were aware of it prior to being informed by Admiral Keller.
Yes. Or I should clarify, I had heard rumors of such a directive. I had no concrete proof.
Then how did Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinix and Lieutenant Commander Sarah Vogel come out with the knowledge prior to the Admiral knowing about it?
Say again?
Did you or did you not inform Lieutenant Commander Sarah Vogel and Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinix about the Omega Directive?
I believe this is a point where clarification is important. Did I inform them of the fact that Starfleet had an Omega Directive? No, because I, well, quite frankly, wasn't sure of it either. However,
A post check.
yeah.
That is going to be an opposed check because you are technically lying.
Uh, okay. Um, would persuasion or deception be a focus?
I will take deception.
Can I use my Alluring trait? Let me just double check the wording. Blah 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 blah. Um, okay. It kind of might work. You know how to subtly use your empathic skills to discern not only what's being said, but also what's being unsaid. This allows you to tell someone exactly what they need to hear. When you attempt a task to advise or convince someone into taking or refraining from a specific course of action, you may add one bonus d20.
Sure.
Alrighty. And oh, let's just go all in. Can I use my determination on the value uh patient no measure thrice cut once because I'm trying to very carefully word it in such a way that while it is technically dishonest, it may or may not actually be a lie.
It's a bad exaggeration. Um, I will take listen to the pauses.
Okay. That's fair. Timing is everything. Um, all right. So, and lastly, oh, screw it. So I'm at 3 dice. What's it gonna take to get me 2 more?
5
That
threat.
would be
You would only get to be able to roll a total of 4 dice because your determination, if you're using determination, count as using determination for 2 automatic successes. That counts as one
okay.
dice. So if you're, so you're technically already rolling. You've already, you don't roll 1 dice. So, but you'd be rolling 5. You'd be rolling 4, even though you're technically rolling 5. It will cost you 5 threat.
I am so sorry, team. I almost never do this, but take 5 threat.
Okay. Well, I'm spending 3 of that to activate his determination.
Alrighty. I'm just looking on my sheet to see if there's anything else I can put into this. It does not look like that. So, wish me luck, everyone.
Don't forget to roll a 1 challenge dice because you're a veteran.
Alrighty. Let me switch it to 1.
Let's see. He does have a focus for this. Spend his determination. He spent 3 more threat to roll 4. You do not. He is a veteran. Let's see if he gets his determination back. Nope. Anyway, yeah. So he has 3 successes, compared to your 8.
8.
So yeah, 5 momentum gained.
Sorry, guys, but let's just say I converted threat to momentum there.
Say again, how much momentum? Sorry, I
5.
Yes, 5 momentum gained. Continue with your lie, sir, but he believes you're telling the truth for some reason.
Okay, well, why don't you ask me another question then?
No, like continue. Like I stopped you mid sentence, so like you were going
Oh,
on. He asked the question like, uh, how did your other two members of your senior staff know about the Omega Directive prior to Admiral Keller?
okay. Absolutely. Given what was going on, I found that, well, um, these, quite frankly, are my most trusted officers, and I owe them my life many times over. And, well, Commander, if if you don't, pardon the French, but it was quite a shitstorm out there. And we were simply trying to figure out what happened. So I decided to, well, let them in on the rumor that I had heard. I don't, and to see if there was any truth to it. And, well, apparently there was.
So you informed your 2 members of your senior staff, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Vogel, Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinix, on a rumor that you've heard some time ago prior to Admiral Keller speaking to you about the Omega Directive.
Um, okay, I
Yes or no,
apologize. Out of
please.
character. I'm trying to remember the timeline of events when I pulled them in. It was after I
Uh,
talked to Kelly, right?
Keller told you to that he told you that uh squash the story. Technically, I think Killer did not give you authorization to tell them. However, he did inform you.
Okay, so I am lying.
Sorry, what?
I said, okay, so I am lying in
Yes.
actuality.
Yes, you are lying. Kinda. Well, it's a half truth. It's partial lie, partial truth, which most lies
Okay.
are rooted in. But
Fair enough. So, in which case, in answer to that question, I believe so. Or no, I'm just gonna say I believe I've answered that, Commander. Is there do we have new ground to cover?
did you at any point attempt to squat or attempt to persuade Miss Chambers from publishing her article?
Persuade, yes. Forcefully persuade, no, as that would be a violation of both procedure and law.
He's sitting there like as you're talking, he's just jotting things down on the pad.
Absolutely. Would you prefer a data storage device, Commander?
This device
That
is
way.
adequate.
Okay. I just know I'm quite verbose, and I don't want you to cramp your hand on the first interview.
In your conversation with Miss Chambers, did at any point did she reveal her source to you?
No, however, I was certainly curious about it.
Do you not seem it would be logical to attempt to pursue Miss Chambers further on attempting to persuade her to give up her source?
I have.
Have any attempts been made since then?
Nope. In the manner with which I decided to act, it would be up to her to make the first move.
Fascinating.
Would you care for me to elaborate?
If you require.
I don't require. I was simply asking if you did. But since you don't appear to, we can
A
move on.
simple answers are usually the best in my line of work.
Of course. You picked the wrong one to interview first, though. I apologize for that. Call it a, well, casualty of age.
He just kind of visibly it kind of stiffens up and continues jotting notes on his pad.
Is it? This is a human, or am I speaking with
He's
a
a
Vulcan?
Vulcan. He's a Vulcan. Pointy
Okay.
ears. the
Now,
whole nine.
now all of this is starting to make a lot more sense. Excellent. Cool. Um,
Apologies, I didn't describe his features when he entered.
no, it's my fault. I should have caught it with the name, but
Um, there's reasons why I didn't really describe it, but
that's fair.
at any point, did any of your officers who are aware of the Omega Directive talk with Miss Chambers about the Omega Directive that you are aware of?
That I'm aware of? No. Uh, However, if I may ask for clarification on your question, are you speaking to prior to the article being written, or
Prior and after.
oh, in which case the answer to that, I believe, would be, well, about the Omega Directive, I don't believe so. However, I do not know. I do believe that this is not her first visit to the station.
From Starfleet records and accounts on your station security, she is still currently on board Deep Space 17.
I believe that to be the case. If nothing else, I don't see a reason not to keep her close by. After all, Commander, if the source makes contact with her in my house, well, that makes our job easier.
He raises an eyebrow and just jots notes down. I believe that is all, Commander Arif. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. If I may ask, who would you like me to send in next?
I will request that to them. Please have all your officers available, though.
Provided the only hang up there is whether or not Dr. Mountain is in surgery. If he is in the middle of a procedure, I apologize. You will have to wait.
Dr. Mountain is not on my list to interview, but
Oh, well, he's
was he
my
made
part
up?
of.
It seems
Yeah.
that he needs to be on the list. I will add him. Thank you for your indulgence, Commander Reed.
You're welcome. If I may also suggest a few more.
How many people did you inform, Commander Reed?
Well, what are you talking about? I just thought you meant senior staff. You had came
I'm
in and
referring
said
to
that,
the individuals that have been told inquiring by your report, along with Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinnick's report.
ah, well,
It seems likely
okay.
that the rest of your crew would be unaware of such a directive unless it was spoken out loud on Deep Space 17.
Well, it's the thing about rumors, Commander. Everyone hears them.
Indeed.
Oh, uh, if I may ask one favor, Arif will say on the way out.
As he continues to the pad, go on.
When you interview Admiral Keller, Arif will say and trail off. And then he'll just kind of wait to see if the Vulcan responds.
He just sits there, reads the pad, and that is
Oh,
for
Command.
my investigation, not yours.
No, simple favor, please. When you do interview him, just tell him I say hi, okay? And then I'll leave the room.
most illogical. Scene change. As go back up to ops. Vogel, currently your commanding officer is somewhere on the station.
I would hope so.
Are you doing anything?
Holding down the fort, I guess.
It's pretty relaxed. Not a whole lot of traffic going on, and nothing out of the ordinary.
All right. If I get a minute, I'll see if what I was researching last time about the village of the Forgotten corresponds to any known sites close to 17.
Reason plus con or science difficulty 2. Actually, no. Let's go make this insight instead. Insight plus science or con difficulty 2.
All right. I'll use 3 of the momentums. Stellar cartography focus.
No. I have a different focus in mind.
Okay.
Do you have archaeology?
No. Station assist.
No, this is more like you glancing through everything, like looking through all like the stuff you've already dug up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll reroll 1 with my cautious.
Yeah. 1 momentum back. And yeah, certain research teams at the station here have labeled, given what has happened on a certain encounter over a year ago down the planet's surface, and they've labeled it as the Village of the Forgotten, considering the race no longer, as technically by historical means, was completely erased from history.
Did you say this planet?
Yeah, the village down on the surface of the planet. They labeled it as the Village of the Forgotten.
Okay, I think I'm taking a field trip later.
And I think after some time, Arif, you finally get out of your meeting with Sakar and eventually head back up the ops.
Alrighty. Heading out there, I'll scope in. I'll breathe. I'll breathe deeply, and I'll say, "Admiral on deck."
Immediately, everyone snaps to attention for a second and then stops and looks at you and just sits back down.
Good job, everyone. Way to go. I'm sure Keller will be quite proud, Arif will say with a smile and a chuckle. I'm gonna head over. You know what? Just for the hell of it, instead of going next to Vogel, I'm gonna peer down from the railing. I'll say, Sarah, anything I need to know about?
Nope, it's been an uneventful day so far.
Bummer. No emitter in the office yet, I assume?
No. As I was about to answer him, I'll look down at my console and see what's going on.
As you do that, you can see in the corner of your eye Arif making an exaggerated frowny face.
Shields up. Sir, we have a spatial distortion forming near the station. I would like to attempt to figure out what the cause of it is.
Of course, how close?
About 400 kilometers.
Does it currently, how big of a risk does it pose to the station at that distance?
Looks like the spatial distortion has dissipated. I am detecting a ship,
Well,
possibly a type of propulsion.
interesting. Well, looks like you found yet another thing to look into and do on your off time, and well, duty if it allows.
Looks like they're
That should
hailing,
be
sir.
on screen. Um, I will walk up to the view screen and say, greetings. My name is Commander Arif. Um, Welcome to Deep Space 17. Who may I ask are you?
Major Jula of House Nemdor of the Calathian Empire. Here to establish embassy on Deep Space 17 with Ambassador Landar of House Kuath.
Yes, Ambassador Landar actually has informed us, and we were expecting you. May you please, may I please put you on standby for just a few moments while I check to see the status of both your embassies and your prepared quarters if you should want them?
Very well.
Thank you. If you'll just give me a second. And I'll motion for someone to end the call.
And Vogel will.
And then I'll just kind of tokens going everywhere. I'll just kind of look back, head to this railing and say, I suppose that was pretty quick, but do we have their embassies and quarters set up?
Garibaldi would know that, correct? Garibaldi's been the one heading up that project.
No, of course.
Well, that was a question to the GM. Sorry.
I believe so, but I never gave him a role. See if he got it done or not. He's been quite busy, especially going off on adventures with the Gunyear.
Vogel the Garibaldi.
Garibaldi here.
The Kuethian ambassador just showed up. Are the suites ready?
We always have suites ready. Now, if ready by you mean specially prepared, I'm still waiting on that arrival requisition from my other bosses. But we'll have a place to put them.
Very good. Thank you. Garibaldi assures me their space is ready, sir.
Nodding. Well, then let's tell them.
And this time I'll hail them.
And on the
Major.
screen, Commander.
I apologize. It looks like everything is good to go. Please, if you talk to them before I do, my thanks to Ambassador Landar for, well, quite frankly, giving us the heads up and helping us avoid a embarrassing incident.
I will pass on your thanks.
Thank you. Now, I suppose you can transport over at your earliest convenience.
If you
Unless,
don't
of course,
mind, we request docking clearance.
of course, you have it. Why don't you take docking port? I believe 2C is open, and well, I think it has your name on it.
Understood.
Great. Well, you you doc. Um, I'll gather my senior staff, and well, we'll meet you in person. We'll continue this conversation in person in just a couple minutes.
And they close the channel.
Uh, I'm going to well, you know what? I'm gonna look to Vogel. I'm gonna say, uh, gather the senior staff in 2C, please, and I'm gonna start to head to the turbo lift and then continue and say, oh, and make sure, make sure at least one of them brings a muffin basket.
Aye, sir.
I'll head to the turbo lift.
2C, was it?
Yes.
That's his Vogel senior staff. What she sends the message, she'll give Burke the con and head down there too.
Burke looks at you, goes, "So much for a relaxing day."
Well, this day was on the come sooner or later.
I'll keep the seat warm for you, Commander.
No more surprise ships, please.
If they come, I'll tell them we're closed for business.
Perfect.
And just as everybody gets that, we're gonna go over to Garibaldi real quick, as you do get the message. However, your communicator chirps.
He will answer it. Garibaldi.
Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinix, I am Commander Sakar. I request your presence in conference room 1A.
When the commander just ordered the senior staff to greet the new Calathian ambassador, who just arrived.
Does your presence hinder the fates of the Federation, or will cause a diplomatic incident and or war by your president's not being there?
Probably not. Might make the commander grumpy.
He is a forgiving man, from my brief encounter with him.
That's true enough. Anyway, when do you want to see me?
At your earliest convenience.
Ah, well then that'll be right after I greet the Calathian ambassador.
Please make it quick, Lieutenant.
Sure. Yeah, as soon as I'm done with the Calathian ambassador, I'll be right down. Quinix out. Quinix, the Garibaldi will end the communication.
Doctor, as you're going through reports and medical mumbo jumbo, you get to the order
Mumbo
to.
jumbo, I'll have you know.
You get the call to meet at Docking Bay 2C and to bring muffins.
Wow. Okay. Would you like to go on an adventure?
And she kind of perks up a little. Yes.
A replicator, a baker's dozen blueberry muffins.
There's a bakery shop in
Oh,
the treasure enclosure. Maybe fresh muffins might be.
let's go. Yeah. We're supposed to meet the commander at the docking bay, so perhaps you could stop there and show me. I'd like to find a new place that you purchase. Usually it's just a biscuit. But anyway,
It's like, oh, I have the communicator, and she taps the comm badge, and as she hurries out the door, excited, you can hear her sound like she's ordering a baker dozens of assorted muffins.
yeah. So my niece bought the assorted, so she'd be all set. And it wouldn't be bad to butter up the command staff. Muffins and butter. There are things called bad uncle jokes too. We'll have to deal with it, I guess.
Well,
Yeah, Vogel and Arif are the first to arrive at the docking port before the Kuathians exit their ship.
Commander, seems like we got here a little earlier.
Yeah, I suspect the other two will be along shortly.
I wonder if they'll actually bring muffins.
I did include that in the message.
Excellent, Arif will say with a smile. Now, should probably let you in on the fact that it was mostly a joke, but, well, quite frankly, I'm a little hungry.
Well, it's 1000 hours, so getting closer to lunchtime.
That's fair. Hopefully, a bit of a snack will do me justice. Oh, Garibaldi, welcome.
Hey, boss.
No muffins, I see.
I was interrupted by the investigator from security. Well, he told me that he didn't want to talk. He didn't need to talk to me until it was convenient for me.
Arif will give a quick chuckle and say, well, feel free to uh, once we dispense of this, let's not keep the commander waiting too long.
Ah, well, yes, sir.
I hope Mountain wasn't detained.
So what's going
He's
on?
going a little peckish.
The Kuethian ambassadors arrived.
Oh, they didn't. They. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Did I
they didn't
say
let
that
me gesture under their sandals.
Arif will kind of grunt in disgust and say, "Well, no time for food now. Faces, everyone."
Well, to be honest, as paranoid as those people are, maybe it was a good thing I didn't get my supply in from my other bosses yet.
That's fair. Last thing we need to know to the last thing we need to do is shoot ourselves in the foot.
And as you smell the sweet aroma of freshly baked muffins,
Yes.
Dr. Mountain and his niece approach as Faye is currently holding a basket full of muffins.
Doctor, Milady Faye, I'm gonna run to them real quick. You don't mind,
Uh,
do you?
she pulls the basket. I thought this was for our guest, Commander.
A dozen
Oh, they
of
didn't
them,
eat the
yes,
muffins
but
last
there's
time.
always one extra.
She kind of holds the basket away from your reach. She looks to her uncle.
I'll give the doctor puppy eyes.
Doctor, you are muted.
Oh man, Faye. Yeah, go ahead. That's what the baker's dozens are for. Go ahead and give him the 13th, and we'll keep the dozen. Just make sure you don't have any crumbs on uniform, sir, when you're done.
Oh, absolutely, doctor. And plus, Faye, this way we're not giving them an unlucky number of muffins.
I found 13 to be quite nice. Anyway, here's the 13th muffin, sir.
Many thanks. And Reef will go to rejoin the others.
And you can thank Faye for the assortment. I was thinking, blueberries, because, who doesn't like blueberry muffins?
Well, I love blueberry muffins, doctor. But Faye, great job. Acting ensign material right there.
So this mean I get to skip the academy?
No. But nice try. But you could get a field commission for that. I'm not sure how that might work.
Well, let's figure it out, doctor. Not right now, but any help we can give her, I'm willing to do. After all, and I'm gonna hold the muffin up. Like I said, that's officer level thinking right there.
What the commander's trying to say is he loves gifts.
Mm. Gifts make the world go around.
Indeed.
I'm gonna scarf my muffin down, try to get it all in there before the ambassador and the major get out.
This medicine difficulty 1.
I'm down with this. And you know what? Just because take one threat. I'm gonna take one threat. And if you want to use this against me, I'm perfectly down. Would I just have to ask? Would temporal phenomenon?
No,
Okay.
no. Ah, two momentum gains as you speed eat or break the world record for fastest muffin eater.
Wait, it just means
Definitely
I don't
eaten.
stuff it in my pocket.
You know, Arif, those taste better if you chew them.
Indeed, but sustenance over pleasure for the moment.
Hope you don't do that every time you eat, sir. Commander.
Only when faced with a time crunch. Ah, Major, Ambassador, may I please introduce my senior staff? We've got my XO, Commander Vogel. Uh, this is Garibaldi Quinix. This is my CMO, Dr. Mountain.
Pleasure.
And this is Faye. Uh, my, well, special helper.
And Faye approaches, and the major stops her immediately. This is for you. It's a assortment of muffins. She kind of looks at me, a delicacy from Earth.
You might want to scan it just to double check
Oh
that
no,
there's
she's already scanning. Like she's already got things, and she's scanning and poking it.
uh, it's an edible, Arif will say helpfully. If you want, Mr. Garibaldi can, well, show you the method.
I'm aware of their edibility, Commander. Thank you. They do not appear to be poisoned, Ambassador.
If nothing else, I think it's always good to start, well, with food. I quite frankly can't think of a better way to bring two cultures together than to share in a meal and see what we both, well, quite frankly, need for sustenance.
As the major takes the basket full of muffins and Faye kind of retreats behind you. Master steps forward and like, agreed. First encounters are always best, huh? With a meal in hand and a hearty drink. Apologies for the rudeness of my attaché.
No, oh my God, no, please don't. In fact, I was about to suggest that she do that. I wouldn't take offense to you scanning, well, quite frankly, any edible or beverage that we give you, just only because we don't know and we don't want to have an incident. And I hope you won't take offense if we do the same. It's not because of a lack of trust. It's simply, uh, as I said, have your I don't have your medicinal records. That's not our business.
We'll supply the appropriate medical records for your doctors here on the station if such an
Thank you.
emergency need arises. However, we do have capable medical staff on board my vessel.
No, of course. The only I don't actually need them. It's only because we have no way of knowing whether or not our food is safe for you. That's
We've
simply why I
collected
took.
samples of food articles from your federation and found that most of the food is agreeable to our palates.
Okay. Well, then the one other greetings that humans have, and I must confess, I am not one of them, but we typically have a physical contact greeting of shaking hands. Would that be disagreeable to you?
Not at all. And he extends his hand out. Just as the major is about to object to it, he just kind of looks at her.
Um, I will shake his hand, and because the major seems a little twitchy, I won't go for the second hand cover or the shoulder touch, but I'll say, "Welcome to Deep Space 17, Ambassador, Major. We are at your disposal."
Thank you for hosting us, Commander Reef. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Vogel, right? As he kind of points to you, Vogel.
Yes. Welcome aboard Deep Space 17.
Thank you. And Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinix, you're a Trill. I'm mistaken. Not mistaken.
That's correct. I'm Garibaldi. My symbiote's Quinix. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, so you have one of those pesky slugs in you. I see.
Yes, and we're used to being called that. I guess they are kind of slug-like in appearance.
Yes, the symbiote relationship with the Trill species is quite complex and fascinating if you'd want to know more.
Yeah, technically makes me almost as old as him. And Garibaldi will point at a reef.
Not nearly close. Arif will chuckle and mutter under his breath.
I believe you've prepared accommodations for us.
Yeah, we have. Both office space and living space.
Excellent. And these areas are to be considered Kuatian Empire territory, correct?
That is standard Federation policy that when we have embassies aboard our stations, they are considered the territory of whatever nation state uh, currently inhabits them.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. The Major, they're quite tolerable species. And she just remains silent as she just kind of mutters under her breath.
Well, we certainly try, Arif will pipe up with a smile.
I must apologize for my cousin's rudeness. She's a little bit gets to the point with matters of state.
Oh, it's quite refreshing, to be honest with you. I feel no ill will towards it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if you don't mind, Commander, lead the way, please.
Of course. Um, would you like me to show you to your quarters, or would you like me to show you to the embassies first?
The quarters would suffice.
Of course. Please follow me. And is Faye still holding the muffins, or is one of them?
The Major took the muffins, and she's been kind of just lurking, watching intensely.
Okay. And I'm gonna kind of bring my step a tiny bit closer to the ambassador, and bring my voice a little bit lower, but not like I'm trying to be super secretive. And I'm gonna say, uh, so I'll be honest with you, Ambassador. Um, I do know it was a gift, but in the spirit of sharing, I'll say with a smile, do you mind if I, and I'm gonna hold up one finger and then point at the muffin basket.
Some cultures would consider that to be rude, but considering it's a gift, Manner, I do not mind if you take muffin.
Indeed, I mean, some cultures would, and well, quite frankly, I'm glad to see that yours isn't one of them, Arif will say when reaching for the muffin. And I'll say, please remember, Ambassador, I think there's a lot that makes us alike, and well, I've just stumbled upon one of them.
Food, wine, and other assortments of drinks make for a happy engagements, Commander.
And with that, I will nod and grab a muffin, of course, and start leading them towards their quarters.
Are the other three of you traveling with Commander Arif? So one person has to be somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say Garibaldi. I guess he will find this time to be convenient. And go meet Commander Sakar.
Do you mind if we come along with you, Commander? Ambassador?
More the merrier, I'll say.
Sarah?
And I'll get back to ops, making sure the day runs as smoothly as it's running so far.
I may continue.
Excellent. And why don't you join us, Faye? After all, this could be a wonderful experience. I hope you don't mind, Ambassador. I'll say, looking at him.
Oh, I don't mind. It's interesting to see a bright young individual interested in matters of the state.
Indeed, you
Um,
do.
well, if nothing else, it's a new experience. After all, I barely remember being that age.
Oh, fine young memories myself of swordplay and academic studies, unfortunately.
Oh, are you practiced with the sword?
Quite ferocious in my day, but my skill might be a bit off compared to other individuals.
Well, I have to say, I am not practiced at all, but there's always been something in my head that's very romantic about the notion of a duel. If we can figure out a way to do it safely, and well, we ever need to burn off some steam, let's remember that as an option.
Perhaps my attaché will give you lessons regarding techniques of Kuathian dueling.
Oh, would you, Major? I'll say, looking back, hey, if nothing else, it gives you an excuse to put me on the mat a few times.
She looks at the ambassador, looks back at you, goes, kind of sighs. I would be delighted, Commander Reef, to instruct you on the more elegant techniques.
Excellent. Hopefully, we can start with how to take a fall.
Of course.
I envision that happening a lot. I'll say, looking back to the ambassador.
And as all of you head off towards the quarters, or well, to the ambassador's technically, I guess, quarter suite, Faye whispers to you, Dr. Munn's like, is this normal? She didn't seem like she liked the gift.
Well, not every species eats the same things that we do or has the same customs that we do as far as gift giving or that kind of thing. But I think she, in her position, she's more of a bodyguard, but not just that, I'm sure, but more of a protector, I guess, rather than a greeter. But it's okay. Uh, in our custom, he says to the woman, we would share the muffins amongst us. Maybe Sarah would. Oh, she already left. Oh, you forgot a muffin. Oh well. Anyway,
You can get more muffins.
that's certainly true. Anyway, I don't want to keep your mission waiting, sir. Good to meet you both.
All right, and where did my conference room go? Garibaldi, you head towards your conference room where you find a whole lot of assortment of devices that you planted on the table. Ah, Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinix, please have a seat.
Well, thank you, Commander. Sir, reason you disabled my surveillance devices in this room.
Indeed. I would also like all tapes of your recordings in this conference room for the past month, Lieutenant.
You'll have to request those recordings from Starfleet Intelligence, Commander.
I'm sure that Starfleet Intelligence will have a formal document signed by the president himself by the afternoon. Please have a seat.
Thank you. What else can I do for you, Commander?
I wish to go over the something you have already quite aware about. Sorry, I am on the Kuathian speak, not Vulcan now. Marvel or excellent reports, Lieutenant, on the investigation you conducted on the expedition, but now I must conduct an investigation of my own here at Deep Space 17. I'm sure you are quite aware of the need for outside arbitration. I'm literally, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't say it.
It's only logical that for someone other than myself to investigate the DS-17 personnel, since I am considered a member of their command staff.
Yes, indeed, most logical. Tell me, when were you first aware of the Omega Directive?
The directive itself,
Yes.
when Miss Chamberlain's news article came out, I was aware of the Omega particle, and sometime earlier when I was informed of its existence by Commander Reef.
Did Admiral Keller not inform Commander Arif to inform the senior staff on the directive to ensure that Miss Chambers' article may not see publishing?
If Admiral Keller had delivered such orders to Commander Reef, I was not in the room when it happened. Therefore, I can neither confirm nor deny that conversation.
Of course. I wish to clarify some stuff on your report, Lieutenant. You clarified that none of the senior staff and anyone who was knowledgeable of the Omega Particle and Directive itself on board the USS Expedition would had the access or knowledge of leaking such information to the general public. You stand by your report.
I conducted a very thorough investigation and found no evidence that the leak came from the expedition's command staff.
Nothing out of the ordinary or you found suspicious with the expedition crew members.
I had a concern with their engineer taking some plans with him on vacation, but those plans did not mention the Omega particle itself. Only some plans, I believe, that particular individual had for a containment device. As I understood the engineering plan, someone could not have had someone stolen or copied those plans from him. They would not have been able to reverse engineer those plans to find out what it was designed for. And my concerns about that officer were in my report. I'm sure Admiral Keller has provided you with a report that I gave him, yes?
Yes, and so is Starfleet Intelligence. Thank you for clarifying it, Lieutenant. Has Commander Arif or any member of your or any other colleagues displayed odd behavior around Miss Chambers or in dealings with Miss Chambers?
No.
Did you yourself attempt to persuade Miss Chambers from not publishing her article? Or was that left solely up to Commander Arif?
The last time I spoke to Miss Chambers during that incident, while she implied that she knew things, I felt that if I had taken active steps to persuade her not to publish her article, that would have confirmed her suspicions about the Omega particle. I felt it better not to say anything. It seems like a
Seems a very logical thing to do. Thank you, Lieutenant. Is it customary, Lieutenant, for you to plant listening devices throughout the station?
you are aware what branch of Starfleet I work for, yes, Commander?
I am.
Then you should already know the answer to that question. I work for the domestic security division. I listen in on everything.
Does that include Miss Chambers, Lieutenant?
I don't have her quarters bugged at the moment. If that's what you're asking. That is planting listening devices in a member of the media's quarters or devices is quite risky. Something that can bite Starfleet in the rear end, if you can forgive the metaphor.
But you do keep a eye on Miss Chambers.
I do. She's quite attractive.
Seems you are not the only one.
I have in the past attempted to develop a working relationship with Miss Chambers, but after her last press release, that seems like a bad idea.
Have
Let me ask
you?
you, let me ask you, Commander, have you broken into her files
I
to
am.
ascertain where she obtained the information? It'll save me some time.
That brings me to my next question, Lieutenant. Have you attempted to look into where Miss Chambers has gotten her information from?
Not since my investigation of the expedition. That was my priority. Now I can
It,
shift my priority other places, unless you're actively involved in that. And if you are, I have other things that need doing. As it is, the cat is out of the bag.
you recently requested transport with the USS Expedition after their return from the center of the expanse, and you accompanied Captain Azrael Prax to Trill.
I took personal leave, yes. The expedition was headed to Trill, and I hitched a ride. What's your point?
At any time, did the expedition crew members uh, reveal any information to you about their time within the expanse, including Captain Azrael Prax?
They did not. Wasn't for a lack of trying on my part. They were quite tight-lipped about it. But it was an action mostly out of curiosity on my part. Had I really wanted to know, I'd have broken into their computer system.
Man, I'm rolling bad with this guy. Hmm. Thank you, Lieutenant. If you don't mind, I will excuse myself so you can replace your listening devices.
Uh, I hope you didn't damage any of them.
I was careful.
Well, I appreciate that. I fail to see the logic in removing them. They were well placed.
You are an intelligence officer, Lieutenant, and I would think certain members within Starfleet would be displeased with me if our conversation were to be recorded. If you don't mind, I will retire myself to the adjacent conference room in which you have not yet bugged. And he leaves the conference room.
Your body's going to reinstall his listening devices.
What you guys had the difficulty to find them this time?
Well, gosh, I had it set at 4 last time. We found them.
Yeah, he had kind of an advantage. So I rolled a 3 with him. He found them. So it's like, yeah, he barely made it, but yeah, he spotted him when he first walked in. So
Well, I'm going to try to set the difficulty at 4 again.
okay,
You take espionage or security systems as a focus. One of those ought to apply.
I'll take espionage.
And I want to make sure I succeed, so I'm going to spend towards the value, take nothing on faith, verify everything to use my determination. I
Sure.
don't think I don't think I used my determination when I set these things, but might as well start a new pattern. And then I will give you let's see, I need 5 resources to get to 4 dice. I will give
Yes.
you I'll give you 3 momentum and 2 threat. Now we hit the button. There we go. Well, I'm gonna
5.
reroll. I'm gonna reroll one of those. Ah, yeah.
3 momentum gained. So you get your momentum back as you spend the next half hour replanting your bugs.
He's probably saying unpleasant things about Commander Sirach under his breath while doing so.
Meanwhile, we'll head over to ops real quick as you head back up. Vogel. Oh,
Any
you've seen
any surprise ships on sensors, Burke?
all quite. Except for the ship with the mouse in it, I told them to go away. She says jokingly.
Good. Let's keep it this way. If only I could just disable the red alert.
Humidity regulations would be breaking. She kind of comments to herself.
Approximately 36. I already checked.
So that's an interesting research side project you're working on.
Yeah, I got inspired. Figured it'd be a good thing to fill my off time with.
Could it tell me what it's about? Maybe I could help you.
Not too sure yet. If I have any idea of what I'm actually looking for, I'll surely reach out.
Understood. Hydroponics is cultivating a new type of blueberry. I am told it's quite sweet and delicious.
That might make the commander happy. Turns out that he loves muffins.
Would have known. She kind of wanders off as she's typing on her console, reading reports.
I guess over 3 centuries of lifetime, you start to experience everything this galaxy has to offer.
And I assume blueberry muffins are at the top. She kind of questions that response.
Apparently, he also likes noodles. I guess him and the doctor have been spending a lot of time in the new noodle place.
I guess the commander is a simple man after all.
So whatever you do, don't make fun of his rug.
Yeah.
And, of course, cut him some slack on the table. I guess woodworking is not one of his strong suits.
Well, everyone has to have a hobby.
I try not to touch the desk too much in there. Not only does it look like it's going to fall over with a single touch, I'm afraid I'm going to get a splinter every time I go in there.
He is aware that there is a shop for that, right?
Yeah, but he wanted to try out the hand tools.
So our new friends, they're not going to blow us up.
The ambassador seems nice enough. A little worried about the major they have with them. She seems really uptight. But I guess any good security chief would. But maybe some time on the station will loosen her ice cold stare.
Well, I for one hope I never have to meet her.
Well, I'm sure you'll have your opportunity.
And as the gossip continues, we'll head back to with the Commander, Dr. Faye, and company. As you engage in idle conversation with the ambassador, Commander, you arrive at their designated quarters.
Right. Oh. And Arif will swallow the last bit of muffin and say, here you are, Ambassador Major. Is there anything else we can do for you?
The major stops the ambassador before entering. She goes, "Excuse me, one moment." She takes out a handheld device and enters the room.
Ambassador, I just wanted to let you know um, that my door is always open, and when it comes to the protocol, both of us must, well, expressly handle. We've got that covered. But if you're inclined with my new ambassadors, I typically like to set up a weekly breakfast.
Dr. Mountain will take Faye and make sure she's on the opposite side of me from the aliens, just for uncle protection's sake. And he'll say, yes, we have quite a great restaurant in the Arboretum that has a variety of different things. These muffins, in fact. Faye, what was the name of the place that you got these from? They're a common breakfast item.
Big Bang Cafe. They do all sorts of stuff. They have a bakery they just added, I think. Oh, there's a noodle shop. It's really good. You should try it. Bastard kind of looks a little bewildered. Um, hmm. Indeed, I will attempt to indulge myself on at this establishment when we get settled in.
Um, Absolutely, Ambassador, and I think you'll find it quite nice. However, I was referring to a private breakfast between you and I, informal, of course, just to perhaps engage on a personal level as well as professional.
Of course. And the major returns.
And remember, Arif, you can always have a yeoman grab them for you before your meeting.
That would defeat the purpose, Doctor.
All clear,
Okay.
Ambassador.
Yeah.
No devices found in the quarters. They appear to be adequate for now. She steps aside.
Well, I'll leave the two of you to it then. As I've said, my door is always open. Feel free to call if you need anything. And you know what? Worst comes to worst, you wake me up and it takes 30 or so seconds for me to respond, but that's no big deal.
I will take you up on that offer soon, Commander.
Much
And-
obliged.
We have a report to finish reading. We'll get back to Med Bay. It's a pleasure to meet you both, Commander. We'll see you perhaps later.
Hope so.
As you trail off, Doctor, Faye kind of looks to you and back and goes, "Oh, pleasure to meet you." She kind of does a slight bow and runs off with the Doctor.
Hey, I told you it was a little adventure, didn't I? It's the art of diplomacy, I guess, would be the lesson today.
I didn't overdo it, did I?
No, you did great. And that muffin find is really good. I didn't know they had a bakery. They do make good cappuccinos.
They have all sorts of types of pastries.
Well, we'll have to do my fitness program on the holodeck before we get another round of muffins, I guess. But you're welcome to come along. It's a hike and a run, so.
Sure.
And I've added mountains, so it's not going to be climbing per se, but it is going to be steep sometimes. I don't know.
Lunch?
Yes, noodles.
Definitely. And I'm assuming the two of you head off to the noodle bar.
Perfect.
I assume you are leaving the ambassador, Commander?
Oh yeah, I'm going to head back to my office. As much as Arif would like to just stare at the closed door, if caught, that would be kind of creepy.
Understood. As we head back up to Ops, as Station Op gossip continues with stories of tales of DS-17. You walk back onto Ops, Commander Reeve.
And I'll this time I won't say Admiral on deck. Whoa. I will head over to the railing and I'll say, Sarah, anything I need to know?
Nope, everything's still pretty quiet.
Well, isn't that excellent? I think I'm gonna head to my office. Wondering, let me know if anything needs my attention.
Will do.
Oh, and if it ends up being a slow day, feel free to knock off a little bit early. I know you have a side project or two, and, well, quite frankly, I'm gonna smile and say, nothing's better than a little bit of fun.
I might take you up on that, sir.
Excellent. Just let me know if you go. I will continue to my office.
And after a few moments, you hear the chime at your door, Commander.
Well, that was short. Enter.
Entering your office is your yeoman, and she puts a basket on your table and says, "I heard you like muffins, sir. I brought you a blueberry and some apples or apple tart muffins."
That's officer level thinking, yeoman. I truly appreciate it. Well, quite frankly, I know you brought this for me as a gift, but I can't eat all of these, so it would do me the honor if I could, in return, give you one of these so that, well, maybe you could enjoy your nice gesture as well.
Thank you, sir. She takes one of the apple tart muffins and sir, as she heads out of your office.
Um, Arif will smile and kind of um, does the omen stay in ops or does she
She has like a little office, like off somewhere, like it's like almost like a closet size thing where she works out of, and then
so
roams
she can't
operations.
directly see me?
No, she can't directly see you.
Okay, I'm gonna put the muffins into the matter reclaimer. Not because I don't like muffins, but because I've, well, already eaten 2 today.
And you do that and recycle the muffins.
Well, I don't want them to go to waste. That would just be rude.
You know what? I think I want to roll to see if Burke noticed this.
Well, I didn't. I did the whole point, Mountain, was to not let um, the yeoman know, so she still feels good about herself.
Nah, she doesn't really see. She's not paying attention. She just sees you walk over the replicator. You can roll for it if you want, Vogel.
Who's rolling what?
To see, Commander Reef got a gift basket full of muffins, and he then recycled those said muffins in the replicator. Do you wish to roll to see if you notice it or not?
Oh, I don't care.
Insight security, or I guess con diff 2. Nah, you don't notice it. Secret
The
safe.
perfect crime. I'm just trying to be a good guy over here. Damn.
Vogel, your combat chirps.
This is Vogel.
Lieutenant Commander, this is Commander Sakar. If you could please meet me in conference room 2A.
On my way. And I'll start heading.
I will give you a hint. You would know that he changed conference rooms.
Not my concern. But yeah, she'll head there.
And as we slide over to the conference room,
Commander, I see you've changed rooms on us.
yes, Lieutenant Garibaldi was conducting maintenance. Please have a seat. I shouldn't take up too much of your time. You are aware of the Omega Directive, are you not?
Yes, as much as the commander briefed me on.
And how much did the commander brief you on the Omega Directive?
How much?
Did he inform you of its entirety?
That I'm not sure. Having never actually seen what the Omega Directive is, I have no basis of comparison.
He slides a pad over to you with the Omega Directive in its entirety. Please take a moment to review.
Do I know what if anything is left out?
This would be your player memory.
Seems that the commander covered most of the aspects here.
And he reaches and takes the pad back once you're finished. And was this before or after he was given permission by Admiral Keller to inform you?
I always assumed that he had permission from the admiral.
He starts jotting notes on his pad. How would you characterize Commander Arif's performance in the past 2 months?
I feel that he is doing a good job, given the issues with the Ebon Expanse we had to deal with on the station, the bringing on board of the Klingons.
If you would indulge me, Lieutenant Commander, could you please go into more details about his demeanor?
I mean, haven't noticed any change in his demeanor or personality, if that's what you're asking.
So he conducted his manner as he's always had during the time you have served with him over the past year.
I would agree to that.
At any point, has he ever seemed stressed out?
There was a day where he requested that there be no visitors.
Are you aware of the circumstance?
I don't. I tend not to pry into personal matters too much.
Was he still able to perform all of his duties, or did you have to compensate for his lack of duties during that time?
If there was an issue I needed him to resolve, I was able to ask him, yes.
Are you aware of any outside dealings or influences from typical Starfleet personnel and other ranking members within Starfleet that Commander Arif has dealing with?
I don't know who he deals with outside of the station. Again, I don't pry too much into his personal life. I would imagine he has plenty of contacts that I don't know about, given his age.
At any point did you contact or talk with Miss Chambers about the Omega molecule and Omega directive?
I believe there was one encounter I've ever had with Miss Chambers. I believe she was asking me about that, but I told her it was something that I had no knowledge of.
Was this prior to your Commander Reef informing you or after?
As a player, I have no clue.
I actually believe it was prior. So I think she questioned you in the turbo lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're on your way to ops, and then after that, you immediately got notified by
Okay.
Reef.
I believe this was prior to the briefing with the commander.
Starts writing things down on the pad. How would you? There's currently. Sorry, let me rephrase this to the GM. Are you aware of a current Ferengi merchant operated on Deep Space 17?
I believe there's a few Ferengi, if I'm not mistaken.
This one has as personal business with Commander Arif. They appear to be engaged in certain capitalistic business ventures. This Ferengi, according to Starfleet intelligence, has been known to deal with into black market sales. Are you currently aware of this arrangement with Commander Arif?
Again, I don't pry too much into his personal contacts.
And if you were to become aware of this, what would you do?
If I were to become aware that he is possibly engaging in illegal activity,
He just kind of looks at you.
I'm just going to look right back until he answers my question.
Have you or are currently aware of any illegal activities that Commander Reef may be part of?
No. What exactly are you investigating, Commander?
Leaks, Lieutenant Commander. Possible ways for Commander Reef to be potentially be manipulated with to indulge or to trying to phrase this as a Vulcan, sorry. To unwittingly or unknowingly give up Starfleet secrets.
You think he let something slip?
That is what I'm here to determine. Have you noticed any odd behavior with Commander Reef?
Again, I have not.
Very well. Thank you for your time, Lieutenant Commander. You're dismissed.
Good luck in your investigation, Commander. And she'll head back up to ops.
Actually, let's go over to Garibaldi. Where are you currently at, Garibaldi? Garibaldi?
Forgot I was muted. Sorry. Garibaldi probably back down in his office.
His quarters.
Yeah, well, not everyone can have like a fancy office like the commander.
Hey, it pays to have rank
You
sometimes.
know, with handmade desks and deep shag carpeting.
It's tactful.
What are you currently doing?
Two tasks. One, Garibaldi does want to contact uh, Starfleet Security, by someone in command at Starfleet Security, just to verify Commander Sarek's orders and verify his authority to conduct the investigation. And then he wants to try to track down Dr. Mountain's sister.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's verify Commander Sarek's credentials.
Sakar? Got it.
His credentials.
Yeah. You get in touch with. So are you going? So you're going with Starfleet security, or are you going with your intelligence colleagues?
I'm actually going to do it through Starfleet security. I mean, he's the information I have is that he works with them.
Give me insight plus con difficulty of 2. Just to kind of see if you get the right person.
All right. I'll spend a momentum turn to third die. Only have a focus for that, so.
Hey, got it. On the screen appears. It takes a moment. A young lieutenant. Starfleet headquarters. This is Lieutenant Henson. How can I help you?
Lieutenant Henson, this is Lieutenant Garibaldi Quinnex of Deep Space 17. I currently have a Starfleet officer on my station conducting an investigation into a classified matter. Need to verify the authority of a Commander Sarek. Sarek? What's that guy's name?
You mean Lieutenant, or sorry, you mean Commander Sakar?
Commander Sakar. Yes, I need to verify his authority to conduct investigation into this particular classified matter on Deep Space 17.
He was dispatched 2 weeks ago. Came from the Admiralty and at personal request of the President.
Ah, very good. And you just verify. And Garibaldi pulls a security photo of the guy up. This is Commander Sakar, yes?
That is my direct superior, sir.
Very good. Just want to verify. Consider this a classified thing he's asking about. Want to make sure I'm not giving information to the enemy. Thank you for your cooperation, Deep Space 17 out.
That guy kind of looked a little nervous, but it's also his boss. So it's the only takeaway you're going to get from him. He was a little nervous because crap, you're talking about my boss. Shit.
Well, I mean, that's all I was looking for, was just to make sure that he was, as far as I could tell, without doing a genetic scan on the guy, just needed to make sure he was who he said he was, and he actually had authority to be asking these questions.
All right, and on to the second task.
Yeah, let's see if we can find Dr. Mountain's sister. I guess Mountain told me where she's supposed to be, so.
I'll forget. But let's go reason plus con difficulty of 2. Assisted by the station's computers con.
Well, that con.
Well, I mean, you're doing a search on public records, so you're kind of like navigating things. So con seems appropriate.
All right, I will spend another momentum for the third die. In this case, can I convince you on research?
I'll take research because you're trying to you're digging through public records to find someone. Yes. His sister is currently where he says she's at. Currently on the colony world.
Yeah, I can verify she's actually there.
Yes.
All right, that's what I. While Garibaldi's being nosy, he'd like to see what he can learn about this niece of his.
That's a separate role.
I know.
What are you wanting to know? Or research?
Actually, he wants to do a. Since she has expressed interest in Starfleet, uh, Garibaldi's going to do a security background check on her.
I'm going to say reason or control plus security difficulty 2.
Okay. Research again.
Yes.
And I'll give you a threat for a third die.
Oh my
Good
god.
Lord. I'll re-roll one of those. That's 2, and yeah, I'll let the complications stand. Have any? I don't really have the resources to do away with it.
Oh dear.
Complications just make the story interesting. Well, no one's that perfect. Just for fun. The current Federation travel records show her on Deep Space 17.
Yes.
Oh, just checking. Well, might be someone pretending to be the doctor's niece. Okay. Then I will hit my comm badge and contact the doctor.
Go from out?
Not paranoia if they're really out to get you.
It's true. How's it going?
Good evening, Dr. Mountain. I got your request. Your sister,
Thanks. Yeah, I was just wanted to see if she's doing all right.
your sister's currently on. And Garibaldi will name the colony world. Yeah, has there been a
I don't
reason?
remember either. Sorry.
Is there some reason you were concerned?
Maybe, but not really. I think it was just more. I don't even remember what he told me. But I haven't talked to her in a long time, so I just haven't heard back from her recently. So just
Well,
checking in. But
as far as I can tell, she is where you told me she was supposed to be.
oh, good. Thanks. I
If
appreciate it.
anything else comes up, just let me know, Doctor.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's great. I appreciate you having me back.
Yeah, anytime, Doc.
Very nice. Well, thanks. I'll talk to you later. Maybe we could go have a lunch together or something.
Oh, sure. Anything but noodles.
Hey, no problem. I haven't tried out other places yet, but I'd like to check it out. You like Klingon?
Isn't that just living noodles?
True. But they have so
I
many
hear-
other good things too.
I hear
I
the
saw a
Earthers-
Targ recently that I thought might be interesting.
I hear the Earthers have a delicacy they call the cheeseburger. I bet we could
Ah.
find a place that we could try that.
They had something like that on Vega Colony, but the people that were on from Earth didn't think it was the same thing. So I wonder how authentic it might be.
Well, we'll find that out sometime. We'll find a place on the station that serves this cheeseburger.
Great. Yeah, how about what is it? How about Tuesday?
Tuesday for some reason, seems like the perfect day for for a cheeseburger.
All right. I'll see you next Tuesday then.
It's a date, Doc. All right, Garibaldi out.
Cheers.
Anything else? Before I take your momentum away.
What can I spend it on? No, I think I'm good for the moment. Since I'm sure Arif won't let me just take off for the Klingon Empire on a whim. I think the only thing Garibaldi will do next is he is going to start collecting everything Starfleet security or Starfleet intelligence has on Orion slaver rings in this quadrant. He's looking to
In
get
your current quadrant? Like
in that sector of space where that brothel is supposed to be. Once you get lists of names of the major players and things like that.
Something to write up. Got it.
But if you're not prepared, I'm sure that could be. Garibaldi is going to be. Let me see, where are my traits? Diligent and thorough, and so he will take the narratively appropriate amount of time, however long that may be, to work on that.
All right. As we head over to the doctor who was enjoying noodles with his lovely niece, and stepped away from it to talk with Garibaldi. Everything all right, Uncle?
Oh yeah. I was just checking in with Arif. He's a good guy. Anyway, like I said, he's a. If you need information, he knows how to get it. But anyway, how are those? I haven't tried that style yet.
It's stir fry.
Ooh.
It's quite delicious. It reminds me of a Japanese restaurant in Paris.
Oh, nice. Paris. I only got there a couple times, but it's a pretty nice place. Anyway, so what do you think of your morning?
Interesting.
Thoughts, takeaways?
The one lady, she seems very untrusting of others.
Well, it is first contact in a way. We haven't met them personally before, and also they haven't been to the station necessarily this way before. So, right to be cautious, but I can see what you mean. And let me know if I do too much uncle explaining, because that would be rude of me.
No, you're fine. It's nice to get to know this side of you.
Oh, thanks.
So this fitness program,
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's good. It's modeled a bit about. I've been to Real Earth, Montana. I don't know if you know what that is, but it has beautiful mountains, There's horse riding trails in it too, but it's also good running and climbing, sort of. It's rock climbing, but without like all the hitches and all that kind of fun stuff. But it's a good. It's nice to have available. Buy you up for it?
Well, if I am told the Starfleet requirement, the physical requirements are quite arduous.
They are. This would be a good starting point. I can also find programs, I'm sure, that will have introduction to cadet training or something like that. That would get you all the specific things that would be required during the training. But at least this will keep your cardio up, and plus it's so beautiful and refreshing that it's also good for your stress levels and dopamine levels. So it's a good all-around practice.
Sounds like fun.
Perhaps we could start on something simpler, but there's all sorts of things we can get you started with. I don't know how much you've done, that kind of stuff, but it is the
Track. Lots of track.
track. See, yeah, you already got a leg up. Ha. Anyway. Yeah, I see. But yeah, we can start with track. Just adding a little elevation does wonders with the micro muscles. You just have the right equipment, and it'll be good. And you're with one of the best doctors in the sector, so I don't want to brag, but if you fall down, it'll be all right.
So later today, after your shift, or
Yeah, I usually just have a light snack after my shift, and then maybe bring some water, and I'll meet you there at what 1850.
okay,
17? Yeah, that sounds good. I get a good time slot because nobody really wants it that much. It's between everybody, and then romantic stuff comes up after that, usually for the early evenings, and then who knows what happens after midnight. But it's a great station so far. I agree. I think you'd like it here for a while too. Do you have any plans specifically? Or do you want to do this for a few days, weeks, whatever? You already got a cool crib, so do they call it that anymore? I don't know.
I would like to see more what goes on around here.
Maybe I can get you up onto ops. Maybe Sarah would be amenable to that. I'll make sure it's on an off day and there's nothing major going on. But if it's not too much of a hassle, she may take you up on it. Arif is fond of you, so you can probably get a mentorship through him. And like I said, Garibaldi Quinix, he's cool. And you can learn a lot. Anyway, this really catches up to you. This is hot. I like it. He starts sweating a little bit on his domed forehead.
Do you require a glass of water, Uncle Z?
Sure. I'll take a sip.
She
Sip
runs
equals a
over-
gulp.
she runs over and grabs you a glass of water from the replicator.
Oh, thank you. See, you're quick and smart. You're on your toes. See that? That would definitely make officer material. And he takes a gulp instead of a sip, and then goes back to the noodles.
As you finish up your lunch meal, well, if you don't mind, Uncle Z, before I run, I adventure in the holiday. Um,
Fair.
I'm going to head back to my quarters and I'm going to do some studying.
Oh, sure, yeah. Sounds great. I will just remember that when you are an officer, you take a full shift usually. So perhaps we could practice that tomorrow. If plan for it tomorrow. How about that?
Of course.
Because Nurse Frola has plenty to do and wouldn't mind a hand.
I thought I would not get in your way and read up on some
And
other.
just well, put the record straight. You're not in my way. I'll just start there, okay? And then from then on, wherever you are, wherever I am, you're welcome. So unless I say otherwise, but take it on faith, okay?
Okay, tomorrow, full shift.
Okay. And we'll see how you fit to that, and then after that, we'll get you set up for wherever you want to be. Maybe a half day with 2 different shifts or whatever, like maybe ops for the morning or men in the morning and ops in the afternoon, and then I'll figure out other stuff as we go. Whatever you're more leaning towards, I would suggest.
I look forward with it. Maybe I can spend time with Garibaldi.
Great. Yeah, we'll have that arranged.
And with that, we'll cut to the next scene. As Alpha shift slowly becomes to slow as your afternoon is pretty relaxed. Arif and Vogel, what are you doing?
Office.
You said it's toward the end of Alpha Shift.
Alpha shift is coming to a close.
Vogel's going to knock off early.
I'm gonna stay in my office and doodle colony city plans.
Yeah, Vogel will go to Aris's office. Why not?
Enter.
Think I'm going to take you up on that offer to knock off a little early.
Excellent. By the way, just a thought, and you don't have to go with it if it doesn't make you feel comfortable, but um, if I'm not otherwise engaged with someone else, I have no issues with you just walking in as opposed to knocking or chiming first.
I can do that.
Excellent. In which case, have a great time off.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Live well. And I'm gonna absentmindedly kind of tilt my head back down and for a moment think about go replicating a muffin, but then realizing I've already had a couple. I think I'm just gonna lick my lips and get back to work.
You hear a chime at your door.
Enter. Yeoman.
Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I'm coughing, so um, Commander, I see you devoured the muffins already. You know that this goes straight to the waist and other parts of your body.
Well, I can't lie, Yeoman. I did have some help, and not just from you, Arif will say with a chuckle. And then he'll lean back and pat his stomach as he says, uh, well, quite frankly, I was only able to get through 2 muffins today, and they were ungodly delicious, though.
I'll make sure that there's um, a basket available here at operations for you every morning with assorted
Uh,
muffins.
I appreciate that, Yeoman. Actually, however, I'd like you, please don't keep it in my office. I'll just be too tempted that way. But I think everyone should, well, quite frankly, be able to grab a quick little snack. Um, Certainly when these duty shifts get a little bit long. So why don't you set up a table of not only muffins, but let's go with some bagels as well. A full spread, cream cheese, lox, the full nine. Let's show this crew how much we appreciate their work.
Notice, sir, the break room here in operations, I will have a assorted array of stuff from the Big Bang Cafe.
That would be wonderful, Yeoman. I couldn't appreciate it more. The fact of the matter is, I think, well, I'm on a little bit of a food kick today, Yeoman. So I would like you to, when you get off shift, go out, get whatever you want for dinner. Enjoy yourself, splurge. And you know what, Yeoman? Have them send me the bill. I'd like to treat you today.
Thank you, sir. That's so kind of you. You
Well,
have a good
a
day,
good
sir.
word spreading. You too. Now get
Oh,
out of here, Yeoman.
and
Go eat well.
she pauses for a second as she hands you a bit. For the evening shift, that's the agenda.
Of course. Thank you. And you get. I'll read this without your lovely help because you have a date with a wonderful dinner.
Thank you, sir. And she fast tracks out of your office.
Uh,
Someone's
I'll
feeling
gladly.
guilty for vaporizing her muffins.
I am not feeling guilty in the slightest. This is all about morale. Crew morale.
Also good.
Also, I never lied. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna check the evening agenda and see if there's anything that needs my attention.
Uh, no. It's
Excellent.
routine stuff.
Sweet. You know what that means? That means an afternoon and night evening full of excellent city planning, unless needed.
Before I jump to Vogel, I'm gonna head over to the conference room. Commander Sakar to Dr. Zachary Mountain.
Yes.
Could you please
This is
report to
Dr. Martin. May I help you?
Yes, doctor. If you could, please report to conference room 2.
What is the matter?
I wish to discuss things with you. Security matters aboard this station. If you
This,
do not mind.
Is this an official request?
Yes, Doctor. It is an official request.
And then I will be there momentarily. Dr. Martineau?
After a few moments, you head to the conference room.
I gave myself a little bit of time between the hike and the and dinner.
This is
and stuff.
before the hike, so.
Exactly, yeah. Okay.
Please, Doctor, have a seat.
Thanks. What was your name again, Commander?
Commander Sakar,
Sakar. Pleasure to meet you.
Starfleet Security.
What is the purpose of your visit? Is this your first time at Starbase 17?
It is not.
Huh.
My last
I think,
visit was 100 years ago.
That's probably why I didn't see you then.
Indeed.
Go ahead.
Doctor, are you aware of the Omega Directive?
Omega Directive. I don't think so.
Could you please describe the Omega Directive to me?
I don't think I've really talked about it. I don't know anything about it. I just Omega Project is what you said, right?
Omega Directive.
Correct.
Are you familiar with it, Doctor?
No, I have not been briefed.
So, Commander Reef did not brief you on the Omega Directive.
Did he? Maybe in passing.
I see. And did you have any contact with a Miss Chambers from the Federation News Network?
I might have talked to her at the Arboretum during lunch. I think she was with somebody else, or I was with somebody else. I don't remember. But I think we chatted briefly.
Did she ask you any questions involving the Omega Directive?
No, I don't think so. He was just mostly talking about Reef, and I think I introduced her to Garibaldi or something like that. But nothing specific about that, no.
Are you aware of a particle known as the Omega molecule?
Well, what came in the article was whatever it said it was, but I haven't verified that.
So your knowledge of this is from Miss Chambers' article.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it in passing, but I didn't get anything like whatever she said.
Doctor, do you do routine psychological evaluations on the senior staff?
Yeah, as required.
Without going into detail and violating your oath as a medical professional within Starfleet, do you characterize that the every member of the senior staff aboard this station is fit and qualified for duty?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Doctor. That is all. You're dismissed.
Commander, I hope I was helpful in your investigation.
Indeed.
He'll nod and go back to what he was doing.
And as you leave the conference room, we will
Not this place again.
Vogel, you beam down to the location described by some of your colleagues on board DS-17. Specifically more archaeologists, calling this the Village of the Forgotten.
I'm going to do a quick tricorder scan, see if I'm by myself or not.
Reason plus science, or we'll go science. Difficulty 1.
Take a threat.
I like threat. Gain 2 momentum. You are currently alone except for the birds and other wild animals nearby.
All right, then I'll find a nice secluded spot and enjoy nature.
Move your token wherever you want. Straight
That
to the
place looks
graveyard.
good. Yep.
Straight to the graveyard. After waiting for a moment, you off in the distance you see a faint image as someone starts coming into view and walks towards you. Someone you kind of are a little bit familiar with. Looks familiar.
She's the one who took my powers, right?
Yes, she is.
I cannot, for the life of me, remember what her name was. I suppose you are the one that sent the message.
I'm glad you're still strong enough to receive it. Sarah, it's good to see you again. As she just kind of like walks through the gate.
You as well.
I know it's been some time, and you may have forgotten me, but I am Athalea.
I remember. So, what is it you wanted to speak with me about?
It's you who wish to speak with me. You did send the message.
I thought you did.
You're forgetting the frog people and the crystal and the
Oh,
names of you. Yes.
I am forgetting.
Yes, you sent the message to contact her.
Now I have to remember why I did that.
Quick remembrance. You had a dream. Of being stabbed. It turned out that it was your twin, who is a member of the same race that she is, the Zozek. But she went to the dark side. To put it in a nutshell, took a crystal which you think belongs to them. The frog people, the crystal is very important to them, and they would like it back. But you said you would make contact with them to get more details on the matter.
Right. Now I'm remembering. Okay. I've recently come in contact with a race who I believe had another one of your kind, similar to how I found Annika when I first discovered what she was so many years ago. However, it would seem that Annika was the one that stole their crystal in a brutal fashion.
She didn't destroy it, she took it. But she killed them in a brutal
Yeah.
fashion.
Yeah, no. Did I say something different than that?
It sounded like you said, I thought you said like Annika
She took
destroyed-
it, but She took it in a brutal fashion.
Okay, sorry. Sound like the other way, like he destroyed it in a brutal fashion. I misheard. Apologies.
They mistook me for her and tried to put me up on charges. They were hoping that to get it back, and I suggested that you would be a good contact.
I'm not sure what good I could do for them, but we don't leave our homeworld. But the crystal isn't Zozek. It's something else.
Why do I not like the sound of that?
It pulses in a familiar manner, but it is not Zos or Anu. If what you say is true, then perhaps you should talk with the Anu.
And how might I get in contact with them?
You've already visited them before.
Am I getting names mixed up?
Anu, she's referring to the Anu. You actually were there, and it's been a while since that session that was on the Tenchi. That was if you remember the gladiator battle. I'll go into more details here. That's what in character for her. I know it's been some time, but you met my pair briefly. She may try to shut me out, but I still have glimpses of what she is doing. To be honest, you and I are quite alike.
So your pair fell to the Dark Ones as well.
Unfortunately. And I've been trying to reach out to her ever since.
So what might these Anu know?
If your vision is indeed correct, then they will be the ones that took it. Your answers that you seek are with the Anu. And I believe you've been there before, if I'm not mistaken. When you served aboard the Tenchi under Captain Athaton.
Then I suppose my mission will take me there then.
Be careful, Sarah. Despite suppressing your powers, you are still one of us.
Thank you for your concern.
and she gestures like she wants to give you a hug.
Sure.
She she gives you a hug, and you could almost feel like she's there. And when she releases, she passes through the gate. Safe travels, Sarah. And then she sort of fades off as she walks across the bridge.
Vogel to Deep Space 17. 1 to beam up. And yeah, when Vogel gets back to 17, she's going to start pulling up the logs about the Anu and have them ready for her in her quarters.
Insight Han, difficulty 1.
I'll use one of the momentums.
Gain 2. You indeed remember the in the logs you did travel to the planet, a Pacific planet near Tholian space. I have to pull up stuff. This was so long ago. So long ago.
No.
Oh, what did I do this at session? I forget now. Is it the red pistol?
I mean, we also don't need to find it now. You could find it offline.
Yeah, there is. I know where the planet is, but yes, there was a. You journeyed to a system. There's some logs. The Tenchi was searching for something, from what I remember. You went down to the planet when you found a sort of primitive, what you thought to be a primitive civilization on the planet's surface. When you went to investigate, they weren't so primitive. They were quite aware of you. In fact, they had a gladiatoria game. And one of the crew members, Lieutenant Commander Laren, participated in and nearly died. But yes, that was the session. And that's kind of that was the introduction of the Anu with the Dark Ones. The kind of. You were looking for something. I remember that was there. Because there was research. There was a evil slave, or a. Was it a Tenchi? Yeah, it was a Tenchi. Yeah. Anyhow. Anything else?
No, just location, because that's eventually where I'm probably going to head.
Location is there.
Ping again.
Put a dot.
Huh?
I'll put a dot on the map. It would help if I'm not in GM layer.
Yeah.
There's the dot.
There? By 200?
Yes.
Oh,
You
that's
said
not
200.
terribly far away.
No.
Cool.
And then we'll head over as with the doctor and Faye as you enjoy some quality time in the holodeck. Yeah. You enter the holodeck as you can see. As the other program, Faye enters the holodeck. Doctor.
I'm right by the arch, probably stretching.
Yep. Wearing athletic gear is
Yep. Starfleet, military gear, whatever is appropriate. Starfleet.
she just does some light stretching and it's like I'm ready to get this over with.
Get this over with. What are you talking about? You're not a big fan of running?
Not really.
What do you prefer?
Other stuff.
Other stuff? Do you sport?
I like reading.
Reading? Great. So let's go through you'll get used to it, first of all. But we can do hey, we can bring a library with us. The computer can give us any book we want while we're here. So maybe we can do some reading at the top in the best spot on this map. I'll point to like a mid-range little hike. It's not terrible, but there are a couple spots.
Is this like some training montage where you get the heart and starve oxygen to your body, and then you try to then think and remember the stuff that you read?
Sure, I don't do it specifically for that, but there's definitely a merit in what you're suggesting. Yeah, if you want to learn and be wise, then reading is definitely your best option. But do take every piece of information with a grain of salt. Know who your sources are, cite your sources, that kind of thing, and that'll get further along in your reading process. Especially if you go either the medical direction or even security, knowing. I would guess Commanda as well, but anything that involves information and organizing it, and that's a good thing to learn. But anyway, we'll take it easy. We'll just start. You've ran before. We can just go along.
What are you setting the difficulty on?
For her, we'll just start. I think we'll start at a 2, and make. I wonder. Yeah, I'll start with 2. We'll just start. Start somewhere.
All right, as the two of you start running the course, give me fitness security difficulty 2.
Alright. You can have one of my momentums if you want. And I'm going to take one too. No applicable foci or focuses. Sorry.
Would be athletics.
Really?
Wow. As both of you start halfway,
How,
this
wait,
is really tough.
This is a great spot to read. I've been here before.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll start reading and we'll finish later.
As both of you seem a little exhausted. Just
I
out
think
the
it
gate.
was the noodle. It had to be the noodles. Too many noodles. I don't think it's okay. Not supposed to run on a full stomach. But anyway,
Anybody else doing anything for the evening? As before we close up the session.
I'm hip deep in city planning, so probably not. No more muffins.
Okay.
Not I. Gearball is doing his research.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Vogel.
Nope.
All right. With that, I think we'll bring the session to a close.